Alright, today's project is going to be really simple. It's only going to take one board. Just anybody can pretty much do this one. All you need is just a couple saws. You can use a hand saw on this, or you can use a small little scroll saw, because you only have a couple things to cut with a scroll saw. The rest of it's all cut with maybe a table saw or a hand saw. You'll need a dowel rod, so you make sure you get a dowel rod. And that dowel rod I'm using is the 5/16. You can just, when you get this built, get it started, you can go ahead and see what size you need. So, okay, let's take it over to the table saw and go ahead and start cutting this thing down and see what we got. Okay, I have everything laid out, all my measurements and everything, but I'll give you the measurements on it. First thing I'm going to do is cut this bottom board. Once I get this cut up and in pieces, I'll give you the measurements. So first of all, we got to do is cut this right here. Okay, now the next one we want to cut these into 3.5 inches. So I'm going to wait till this thing stops here and I'll get 3.5 inches. Well, I can do it here, but most of us like doing it this way. So we're going to go 3.5 inches. So I have to cut 3 pieces out of this board, 3.5 inches all the way across. Okay? I actually got 2 pieces, 3. I did mess up on this because I wanted this last piece wider, so I need to cut this one across this one and then cut it back on a 3.5 inch cut. But like I said, I'll give you the measurements on it. Let's move this over here. So we're going to start out with 3 of them, just like this. Okay, so you're going to have the small one's going to be 3.5 inches by 10, and then you have a bigger one here. Let me do this over again. Let's see. I still got to cut these pieces here and cut this piece here off. I'm going to cut that on the miter saw because I don't like cutting that small piece on the table saw. So let's go over to the miter saw and cut those pieces off. Okay, this is a little bit better. Okay, so this is the base here. The base of this thing is 9.5 inches, okay, by 4 inches. So we need 9.5 by 4. That's the base of it. Okay, and then you're going to have another piece here, 3.5 inches by 10 inches. And then you need a 3.5 inch by 19 inches long. And then your last one is going to be 3.5 inches by 14 inches long. Now if it doesn't come out exactly those measurements, that's fine. But what you're going to have is one here. I don't like that knot. Let's turn it this way. Wait a second. Yeah. Like this. Okay. And then you're going to have another one about right there. And this would be the base. The base is going to go down the bottom. And this is what we're going to put on them. Okay. what they're going to come out to is a little candle. Let me show you what candle looks like. All right, let me grab a hold of that, and this is what we're going to make right here. Just a few boards, really simple to do, and a little bit of decoration for your desire, whatever way you want to decorate it. Okay, so they're real simple. We got 3 boards here, so that's the long one, then one here, and then the 3 little types that look like flames. So I mean, it's so simple to do. So we're going to go ahead and cut out these parts right here. Okay, let's go over to the scroll saw. Now you can use it if you want to use a just a regular small jigsaw. It's fine. And you can also, now I made patterns and stuff for everything, of course, to do that. These are going to be the little flames here, so we need to cut them out. But you don't have to use this thick of a piece of wood. I just used it, if you would just take a 24-inch board, you can make the whole thing out of it, except the dowel rods. And you just take a pick on what size. If you got smaller ones, it's great, because I'm using 5/8 because that's something like I have here. I think that one's even a little bit bigger than 5/8, but see, I had a piece here somewhere. Oh, right here. So that'd be kind of like the little 5/8, and then of course the 5/8 drill bit you're going to need. So, all right, I'm going to go over to the scroll saw. I'm going to cut a couple of these out, and then of course you want to make sure you sand all these pieces up before you start. So, okay, let's go to scroll saw. What I like doing is to go ahead and just kind of, sand these ends off here before you decide to paint, and before you put them all together. So this is basically what I've done with the other one. And if you want, just keep sanding over. But I'm going to go ahead and we're going to stick this together, and we'll show you what we did. Now, if this is the small candle, the one in the middle, I offset it, the other one offset a little bit. You don't have to, you can set it right here in the middle like this. Okay, but before we do that kind of stuff, we need to go ahead and then mark these, and then go ahead and drill some holes into those. So that's 3.5, should be about 1.25 inches, man. So each one of these we need a mark in them. Let me get this. Okay. And then also we'll take this over to the drill press, and I'm going to drill some holes in these. This, you don't need this at the bottom one. Let's go to the drill press. And we're going to take the drill press and we're going to just do it this way, tie it down, so it'll be a little easier on me so I don't get away. And then just drill holes right in the center here. Try to get it close as you can. That's not still moving a little bit. Off a little bit there, huh? There it is. Okay, now we need to put them in the little flames on top, and that's where it comes in handy, because you don't have to touch it. You can just kind of center it as best you can. Now these are a little rough here, unless you get put a little center punch on them. Okay. Okay, we have the pieces drilled on both, and then of course your dowel rods, you can, I drilled those holes a little bit deeper, and so that, if you want to make out the measurement, that's fine, but you can mark your drill bit. You take your drill bit, and if you don't know how, it just measure out how far you want to go into the wood. So if you use a little dowel rod like this, you want to cut it and do half of it, you would just kind of just measure it. So that's 2 inches, that's 1 inch. And then take a little bit of maybe masking tape, electrical tape or something, measure back 1 inch, and then wrap that tape onto your drill bit. So when you're drilling into the piece of wood here, you can go into until you hit that piece of tape, and then you'll know how far you can put these back into the wood. Okay? So, I mean, I just drill back in them, put glue and stuff in. But if you want to do it the other way, it's fine. Okay. So we have all these drilled. So we're going to end up putting the little candle things on them, and I have some here, but I'm not going to glue anything on mine right yet, because I'm just putting together for you guys. Okay. I might have a little bit more drilling on this to do. There. Pretty tough there. There you go. But like I said, I'd sand that first before I decide to do what I'm doing there, because it's a lot easier if you sand them. Smack them in there. I did have one. No, these are all on. There you go. Now you can set these if you want to set them, you know, flame going one way or flame going the other. It don't matter. I'm gonna put them all mine the same, so it'll be kind of like 1, 2, 3, something like this right here. That's the way I like to have mine, and just kind of butt up against you. This one here, I drilled this one off. Maybe I'll turn these around. Let's see if I can. I drilled it off a little bit. Got to get those drilled in a little better. There you go. Okay. Wrong one. Okay, there you go. You got this much. Now the base, I just took a 2 1x, because that'd be 3.5 or 1.5 inches. So it would be 1.5 inches. So I'd lay them down like this. Okay. Well, then this went up on top, so I'm going to need something to lay it on there like this, just to kind of brace it up, you know, hold it up off the table a little bit. And then just center this last piece, just whatever way you like it. Let me get a couple screws here. Okay, got a couple. And just kind of center it. You can measure it out if you like. About 1.25 inches there. So it should be somewhere around 3/8, 1 3/8. And then just drive a couple screws right up in the bottom of this thing. Just like that. You can put a couple in there, don't matter. I'm just putting one in to show you, and there you go. And then just go ahead and decorate it. Something like this. I put this together really quick. Well, this was done quick too, so it don't take much to do these. But we did do some scrap on these up here, so they're a little bit thinner. So if you have a little bit thinner wood, just make sure we use that dowel rod. You get a smaller dowel rod if you're going to put thinner wood on. That's what I did with these. And then decorate it up. A lot of things out there. Hobby Lobby's got a lot of different things. Michael's has a lot of things. Walmart even had some stuff. We went up and looked around. And then just decorate whatever way you like it. So, okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. This is something simple that you can get done. Maybe get done before Christmas and give to somebody that would just love to have a gift for this year. And it doesn't really cost you hardly anything at all. Just a little bit of your time and one board, 1x12 by 24 inches. That's all you're going to need to build this. And have a lot of fun doing it too. Okay, well, thanks for watching. If you guys got any comments, just leave them down below. And I do appreciate, like I always say in the videos, that the thumbs up really help my video out a lot. So, okay, thanks for watching. Have a great day.